Why are you not invested in crypto, John?
I guess I just invest in other things. I typically invest in like magic cards because I just understand the market like a lot better.
When they're hot. I mean, Pokemon cards. I had my original Pokemon cards last Christmas. A guy named Brian started working with me, and he's all into Pokemon, and he was telling me about it. He was like, the fucking game is coming back now. I was like, what are you even talking about? He was like, yeah, people are buying Charizards for fucking thousands of dollars, you know? Yeah. So I brought in my original set that was like, I think I was 12 shy of the OG 150. Nice. Fucking Brian brought them for me at work for $250. I brought them in prepared. I said, Brian, I was like, if you want to give me like $50, and I was like, we'll call it good. I don't even know what they're worth. Like, I don't know what they're. He was like,
what do you think they were worth?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea, and I don't care because I didn't know I had them. So that's fine. To me, they were worth nothing because I'm not going to put in the work to get them all graded, to send them out, to do any of that bullshit. I'm not going to do any of that. I don't care enough to do that. Yeah. So to me, they were worth nothing. To Brian, to whoever's going to buy them, they're worth that much money. To me, that's a piece of paper. I don't understand. The same thing that I struggle to understand the relevance of dollar bills. That's fake. It's not real. You know, I have to give it faith because that's the dominant monetary system of our country. So that's what I get paid in. That's the money that other people are going to accept from me.
You still have faith that you can go out and buy whatever it is that you're wanting to buy with those pieces of paper.
Yes, and part of it is because I don't understand the market, so I don't know what it's worth, and that's why it's not worth anything to me. I was happy. Like I said, he gave me $250. I was thrilled.
Yeah, because you just had free $250.
They were on my shelf. Yeah. I didn't even know I had them. They were in a binder on my shelf. And I said, I think my mom has them in a box. Yeah. And they were on my shelf. And Brian gave me $250. So they're worth $250 to me.
Yeah. And if he turns around and sells those things for $2,500, it's really not going to be any snot out of your nose because essentially to you, they were worth nothing.
And he told me that he's held on to them since then, that he was going to keep those more for sentimental value,
which is they're so OG.
They're gonna go so high, but
I'm sure that's why. Yeah, there was some first editions. There was some nothing too crazy, you know, but there was some good shit in there. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I invest more in because I guess I just understand what does everybody do once they get money? They just get things that they like. Right?
They get shit.
They just fucking have things. So it's more like
get the things.
Exactly. Like whatever you had when you were a kid, whatever is just hard to get, right? Like that's just gonna hold value for people. Yeah. Like that's the supply demand thing. So I think I just understand Magic, the game. And the game is too big at this point to fail. Like if they stopped printing today, all the cards would just spike in price. Because now the supply is completely gone.
Like when they canceled whatever that card was a few months ago.
Yeah.
Right. We've talked about it on here. There was a card that they stopped printing or they changed the name of it or some shit like that, and then people were buying it for just $1 bajillion, you know? Yeah. It had some type of, I don't know, Satanist. I don't even remember.
And it's a little bit the Bitcoin thing where it's so many people put so much money into it, it's hard to see it as zero value. So it doesn't make sense why a card in a case that's a Black Lotus fucking whatever is $150,000 or something. But people move mortgages around very easily. And people who have money who do things well, they're you know what, I like fucking Magic cards. Tons of NFL players, tons of basketball players. So
it's like comic books.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Superman #1 is worth over $1 million, you know, whatever it is. And it goes up in value every year, every time someone buys it, you know?
Yeah. So everything's like this. You could find this for guns, you could find this for fucking microphones. And it's just I understand this collectible because I have literally grown my entire life doing it.
You played Magic for a long time?
Since I was since 6 years old.
Really?
So I've been playing for. It's the thing I'm for sure the best at in my life out of all of my skills.
Really?
100%. Yeah.
Who do you play Magic with now? Do you have a group of people that you play Magic with?
I have not played. In high school, we would have a group of 4 people, and we would just jam tournaments every single weekend.
Who else? Who was in your group?
It was seniors. It was different. It was I don't know, Chris Slinger, Jesse Steger, all these people. We play Magic. We would pool our money together to buy all the top tier decks, and we'd all have different top tier decks, so we could all play it. And we would just run and go get out of top 8, we would try to get top 4 places at least. We'd have 4 places in top 4, so we were making positive money. And Magic actually started in Washington.
Really?
Magic was
this shit I'm learning today about Washington.
So my dad was actually deep in the Magic. game. For spoilers, my dad used to run his own fanzine. And he did one of the first spoilers. So now they do spoiler seasons. They leak the cards, get people excited. But back in the day, it was people looking through dumpsters. It was some real journal shit. But it started in Washington. I'm pretty sure in Renton, Wizards of the Coast.
And your dad's from here?
Yeah. Like in Seattle, around all the time,
joint.
contemporary with all this stuff. My dad was like, my dad has like cards from the very, very beginning of the game. Like my dad, like he was famous for like making like a suit out of like extra magic cards because he was really into like making chainmail because he was part of the SCA and stuff. My dad's a huge fucking nerd. But yeah, so he got this binder full of like every single land like printed at the time and like kind of family stuff. But like when we were hard on money, he like sold cards. So like my whole life I've been selling cards. My whole life I've been flipping cards. I've been like. And like just through my whole life, just like buying cards and then knowing what's going to increase in price and then just like doing it. And it's simple things like I remember I was in France one time. I'm timing like drops and stuff. It's kind of like a sneakerhead thing. Yeah. And it was like I was able to get in an order. It was like just for the scale of it. There was a product that was like MSRPing for $250, and because the two versions of it had sold out, like instantly crashed the websites. It crashed Hasbro's website. It crashed like a different server website. So they went to eBay. They're like, eBay can handle this. They said to be able to handle this, we've printed in excess 12,000 boxes. That's like, and it's supposed to be limited, but they're still supposed to get it to the people who want it. It's like a premium product. They're trying to like not make it like lottery tickets. Right. It's like completely selling out, driving the price up for people who want to just like actually play the game because everybody's like, no, this game's worth money. So you get online, you're like, it's dropping at Wednesday at 12 p.m. I still remember. Wednesday at 12 p.m. So in France, I'm in fucking, it's nighttime for me. Like, I'm definitely going to get one of these for $250. It's fine. Yeah. Who has $250 to pay for? In the first 10 seconds on eBay, it said 40,000 people are watching this.
Wow. And
it crashed eBay, and a bunch of people's orders went through, and it all went back and all this stuff. So I was lucky enough to get one because I bought it in the first like 5 seconds for $250. The very next day,
like concert tickets.
Yeah, the very next day, it was MSRPing for like $1,000 online.
Oh yeah,
people were selling confirmation codes for $1,000.
That's insane.
Well, and then off of those, like I waited 2 years to sell them. Like my net profit was like $800 or something.
No
after
shit.
I sold it, so it's like I put my money there because I know what's gonna happen.
Why do you? So let me ask you this:
Why? I can make people profit on Magic 100%, but you got to be patient. You got to like know profits like 3 years out, 4 years out.
So let me ask you this: why do you not make content about Magic cards?
Because I'm trying to. I'm trying to like.
Okay, that's something
like
you're working on right now.
Yeah, I definitely.
Okay. That was a better question.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Are you going to make content on Magic cards?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Like, there's a online thing called Magic Arena, and there's like different ranks and like Mythic and stuff like that. And like, if you get to the highest like top, I think it's like 1,000 in the world by a certain season. You get to basically play in a tournament, and you get to try to be in the tournament, and then
you play online.
It's all online, and if you win out of like 1,000 people, you might get invited to like the pros.
Yeah.
Thing. And it's just about grinding. And like
I saw
last year, November, December, I got stuck because I was like waiting for a job, trying to figure out YouTube, trying to figure out camera stuff, trying to figure out Magic, taking it all like doing too much, and I just played the game. I was like, well, there's coronavirus. This was like when they re-locked down everything again, and I was just applying for jobs, so I'm like, I'm gonna be here through Christmas for sure. I just started playing the game just with my friend online, and then I got really into it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm like top 500 in the world. Oh, I'm top 200 in the world. And I was just like playing. And then it was like kind of a conversation with my like wife. I'm like, I want to play because I was playing like all fucking day long, and I love playing. But
is your wife into Magic cards?
More now, but at the time it was like get a fucking job, and so I was like, you're right. I was like, okay, and I gave up like my rank. I didn't play in the tournament. I didn't take it serious.
You should have done it.
I need to set my fucking life up so I can do shit like that, where it's not like, hey, you're doing this, but also you don't have a job.
Life happens. Magic cards is now.
One day I'll fucking play in a big ass tournament.
Can I use the restroom real quick?
Oh yeah.
What's the best way to go around John?
Around John, whatever. Yeah.
Is that camera on?
That's very interesting.
That camera is not on.
The camera's not.
We grew up in a crazy area. It's like the Beatles. This is the craziest area to be playing Magic.
What the fuck?
You know what's really funny is I learned actually this morning. Carolina showed me something else crazy dope about Washington. Actually, in Kingston, the gym she goes to, the World Guinness hula hoop champion goes to that fucking gym. And he was there the other day.
Like, why?
And they were like looking at him. He goes there.
It's a dude?
He does like pull-ups while he's fucking hula hooping.
No!
Dude, it is so intense. Well, yeah.
It's a dude?
Dude? Yeah.
The guy, that surprises me for some reason. I definitely thought it would be a woman.
Well, I mean,
I feel like
core strength involved, bro. The core strength and getting that thing to keep going while you're like pushing pull-ups and shit like that.
Right.
Insanity.
I mean, I feel like a lady can have just as strong of a core as a dude,
I mean, Do we really want to have that conversation right now?
I feel like that's got to be one of the things where it's a pretty close
Probably.
measurement. You know, it's not a grip strength thing. That's got to be a pretty close.
Better, but that's all right.
You're crazy. Is there anything else before Elijah comes back? When he comes back, we'll end the pre-show and then we'll hang out for a minute. But
I just wanted to expound more on this conversation we've been having, essentially about whether we know it or not. We're talking about investments here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Between dollars, between cryptocurrency, between collectible items, what this is people finding places to store value.
Yes.
And because financial markets shift all the time, and currency markets are a part of that, and so the dollar you have today, odds are tomorrow it's not going to be worth as much. You know,
unless it's a
on
magic
any
card.
given day. I mean, and the rate at which that dollar's value decreases depends on what's going on. And it's the same in like the world of collectibles, except it's not a centralized power that's controlling the price. It's a decentralized network of people that are interested in this thing who put within that an inherent value based off of how they perceive it.
Yes.
And how they're going to use it. Everything from the sneaker game to cards. I mean, art. That's why art is a big investment now.
Yeah.
It's
when
assets.
People do this with houses and cars.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And all of it is scary if you don't understand it and you don't see the personal value in it. You know?
I got about 5,000 Magic cards I'm about to give John today before he leaves. Be like, all right, bro, I don't care how long it takes. Let's turn a profit on these bad boys. Actually, that's because there was a phase in my life.
A purge phase? You're just burning everything you own?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Have you looked around? That doesn't happen here. All right. Once I have too much, I start throwing it up on the fucking walls in the studio. But now I got really heavy into playing Magic, and it started with like the Magic card games on like Xbox or some shit like that. And I was, at a place, we were living in New York at the time, and so the wife and I got into playing Magic cards, and I to this day love that fucking game.
You're good.
No, this is good because we're realizing all the choke points in the studio now. Everything.
There's going to be some switches in between the pre-show.
Yes, there is.
Like, since I was born to like high school, I knew personally every single shop owner, like in this area. They all know me since I was like a baby.
Oh snap!
Like I was in there when I was a baby.
Do you know Dragon Horde games?
Wow.
Yeah.
I smell some more content.
Doug. I can't
He's a
remember
cool
his last
dude.
name. I grew up with his son. That dude was actually hanging out with my dad back in like Comic-Con.
He
Or
seems
not
like one of the
Comic-Con days,
OG
but
dude.
like
Back in the land suit days?
yeah, Doug. No, I
All I'm
played
saying is
at
I
a
wanna
tournament
see
just
that
not
suit
too long ago.
because, I'll have to show you in between the shows, but like, the art on these Magic cards are dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine like a whole suit built out of like a bunch of fucking land cards, like looking pretty dope at the end. It's something Lady Gaga or Lil Nas X might sport at an award show. Like you go super bougie like that and be selling that shit for some serious money if you wanted to.
It was for a contest. For a magazine.
Oh. But yeah,
I think I've been steeped in this.
It's some good
Pokemon
shit.
too. I learned how to read and count playing Pokemon.
On Pokemon cards.
I could see that.
I was like,
oh yeah, because you're adding up damage type stuff.
Yeah.
And you're, reading all the, comprehending the rules on each card and shit like that.
I didn't understand letters. I would just like look at like Ember and be like, my dad's saying Ember, and that symbol, that's Ember.
There you
so
go.
Reading was like weird and hard for like my whole life still. So I did not know what letters were for a while, and I don't think I learned to read that way.
Hey man, everybody's different.
Yeah, right.
It made me really slow at reading. Actually, it was kind of funny.
Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope